with Latino voters. Their 2016 turnout wasn't much different than, as a percent of the electorate, it wasn't any bigger than it was in 2012. We know that in 2014, the drop-off was, I wrote this down, it was 27% turnout in 2014.
You know
yeah, and that's what I want to ask you about. So that's a 43% drop-off from the 2016 to, the difference between 2014 and 2016. So tell us why there's such a big drop-off in the midterm, and what is it that is either, we can argue, keeping Latino voters from voting, or why they are not interested in voting? What are the candidates and campaigns not doing to attract voters?
We need a whole session just on that.
I know we do.
Okay.
But you only have 2 minutes, so go. There we go.
So the short answer to the abysmal turnout in 2014 is California. California has a third of the Latino vote. And there was absolutely no reason for anybody to vote in California in 2014. Everybody was up for re-election. Nobody campaigned. There was nothing interesting on the ballot. Californians stayed home in droves, including Latino Californians. And that brought down the national Latino turnout.
Got it.
Remember, a third of the electorate that's Latino is in California. Another 25% is in Texas. You take those two states together, 1 out of 2 voters. Why don't Latino voters go out to vote? Because they want to be personally engaged.
Yep.
And the voters in Texas and California are ignored by our political system, political candidates. Hillary Clinton never campaigned in California. She just went there to raise money. Trump never campaigned in Texas. He took it for granted he was going to win. So nobody asked Latinos in those 2 states to vote. And if nobody's asking you to participate, then you feel the political system doesn't work for you, that you're ignored, that candidates just come in, make promises, don't deliver. And that's how many Latinos feel.
What about Arizona, though, a state that was competitive, has been traditionally competitive? Are you seeing are you seeing less of a drop-off then, are you saying, if it's more competitive?
Not so much Arizona as Colorado, because very competitive races in Colorado. Florida, lots of money goes into Florida. And there's a reason why Latino turnout rates are higher in Colorado and Florida, because you spend money mobilizing Latino voters. So follow the money, and very little money follows Latino voters.
How much of it as well is about who's registered and who's not?
Turnout among registered Latino voters is very high. Something like 80% of Latinos registered to vote turn out. But the problem is that of the 27 million who were eligible to vote in 2016, only 14 million were registered to vote. So that's a real problem there. We had about 12.7 million turnout in 2016. So the real problem is eliminating these barriers to voter registration. And when you do systemic changes, like in California, where 17 and 18-year-olds are pre-registering to vote, we're going to have a huge turnout in California. It's in a midterm that does a lot. Huge Latino voter turnout in a presidential. It's not going to change the national scene very much because of how California votes.
Right.